Yes, people, welcome back to Albert J TV. Firstly, to be honest with you, I was sort of to and fro whether I was going to do this content about MESUT Ozil, because obviously today it broke that he's been excluded from the Premier League squad. MESUT Ozil subsequently has come out of a statement. And yeah, because talking about MESUT Ozil is a hot topic, man. And I mean, I've been lucky in the sense of whenever I've spoken about him, even before my YouTube days. I've been on Twitter, for example. I said this story before for it'll be 10 years this month. And I've never, ever had any Arsenal fan or anyone that supports the club or they support the players more than the club, whatever way you want to phrase it, that are, how can I put it? That have a liking for MESUT Ozil, put it that way. Until like a few months ago when some Arsenal fan that was on Twitter, a well-known Arsenal fan tweeted about MESUT Ozil, about playing under certain managers as being dropped at some point, basically along them lines. So I've commented on it, and another guy's Arsenal fan, who's obviously a MESUT Ozil fan, because I saw the person's sort of Twitter back screen of MESUT Ozil, and yeah, he basically, to cut a long story short, he's just losing it, man. Like, you know, I'm spreading lies, you know, the buzzwords. You got an agenda. You're just saying things to get a reaction. And I had to say to the guy at one point, like, have you not got nothing better to do on a Friday afternoon and tweet me about MESUT Ozil? Because he was just going in. I thought, the way man was attacking me, right? I thought I was the black version of John Cross, man. Like, he was just... And to the point that this is the problem when you debate with somebody, right? You can agree to disagree, and everybody knows that saying. But it got to a point where either they get personal, or they block you, or people mute you. So me and this guy's having a couple of tweets. Nothing sort of, you know, daring with the tweets. But it just... To the point that he actually cut me off. He muted me because he didn't want to hear what I had to say. I just thought, if you're going to debate, just debate, man. Like, why do you need to resort to that kind of stupidness over a footballer? Like, come on, man. But yeah, MESUT Ozil, I'm not going to spend too long on it because I think I've gone off a bit of a tangent. But when we first signed him, I will go that far back, I was shocked we even got him. And when I say shocked we even got him, I mean, I was happy that we got him, but I couldn't believe we got him. And the situation he found himself at Real Madrid, and you know, this is not like this was a MESUT Ozil who was towards the end of his career, or he was in terrible form, or he didn't contribute anything towards the team. Because you know, when he came to us, I think MESUT Ozil would have been about 25ish. I would have thought. Drop in the comments below if I got that right or wrong. But obviously there was some well-spoken voices at Real Madrid that were not happy that MESUT Ozil had gone, but started off his Arsenal career, I think, pretty well. And then sort of fast forward into he signs a big contract, and then, yeah, he's not really performed for Arsenal on a consistent basis, to be honest. People can sit here and tell me about extenuating circumstances, whether that be the players, the quality of players around the club, the quality of strikers up top, the quality of midfielders behind him from a defensive point of view, and systems, formations, managers. Listen, we could be here all day. But for me, the last 3 years, he hasn't performed at any consistent level at all. And I think for the people, the way I would look at it, right, and I think this is the best way I can put it, for people that have an opinion about MESUT Ozil, and I'm talking about footballing reasons, you get told you got an agenda, the buzzword, like I said. But then you can flip it and say, some Arsenal fans, not all, you got an agenda in regards to MESUT Ozil and the consistent praising and the worshipping and the, you know, the praise beyond praise. And listen, whether you're an Arsenal fan that is, excuse me, whether you're an Arsenal fan that is a red member, season ticket holder, you're a casual football fan in general who likes Arsenal, or, you know, you watch the games on television, you know, it's obvious that people can have an attachment to a player more so than they do to the football club. Yes, Mesut Ozil does some amazing charity work, and he talks about, as I mentioned before in previous content, that he doesn't. He speaks very strongly and highly in regards to anything to do with humanitarian issues. And you know, from reading this statement today, and people say Mesut Ozil's got the best PR team in probably world football, and I think that's true. But you know, not to sort of go through the statement because I'm not going to bore you with that. But I think it was, if you read in between the lines, Mesut Ozil feels there's no loyalty from Arsenal there towards him. He's obviously indicated this is not footballing reasons as to why he's not in the team, and I think the tipping point really was when Mesut Ozil stuck up for the Uyghur Muslims in China, and Arsenal's response, and I remember it clearly, they did the complete opposite, 360, 100, whatever you want to call it, of backing Mesut Ozil when he came out and said what he said about the Muslims in China. Arsenal handled that terribly. But with Mesut Ozil, I've always tried to be balanced, which I think I do, and try and talk about it from a footballing point of view. Yes, listen, it's not Mesut Ozil's fault Arsenal gave him the contract, obviously. But I look at it from a footballing point of view, and for me, I sort of always said in quite recent months and probably a few years, to be honest, I question his desire to play for football. I think Per Mertesacker mentioned it in the statement he said in terms of focus outside of football or other interests outside of football, and that's pretty apparent to me with Mesut Ozil. People talk about the creativity at Arsenal, and let's be honest, right? Even under Wenger, when Emery had to sort of eat humble pie and bring him back into the team, when Mikel Arteta played him, when Mikel Arteta first joined, I wouldn't say Mesut Ozil exactly tore up the Premier League. That's what I will say. I think sometimes people confuse the fact that because he played before Project Restart and before the global pandemic and COVID, that he didn't play well. Let's be honest, he wasn't awful, but for your guy that's meant to be your go-to man, the man that's meant to create, the man that's meant to be your star man, your go-to guy, his performances in the last 3 years have not been good enough, man. Let's be honest. So when we talk about creativity, yes, if I'm talking about that in isolation, then yes, he's a creative player, and we need people to create for the likes of Uber and for Laka and for Pepe and so on and so on. But at the same token, when he was in the team under 3 different managers, 4 if you include Freddie, he didn't tear it up, man. I said that, you put in the guy in the team who's people crying out for, because in terms of his creativity, and it's few and far between. So yeah, I mean, like I said, one, I question Mesut Ozil's desire to play football in the last 2 years. But on top of that, I think Arsenal have handled this situation terribly. I said it after the David Ornstein interview with Mesut Ozil that I don't think either side's come out of it very well. And it's the same thing with the statement, obviously today with Ozil being left out of the Premier League squad. Is it till January if I got that right? But he can only play under 23s, and obviously he was already out the Europa League squad. I would still like to know who the other 2 members were that refused to take the pay cut. If I'm reading in between the lines, I think you're looking at maybe some of the guys that haven't featured, and that's Quindouzi and Socrates and Mesut Ozil. I'm no expert, but it doesn't look very good. Like, it probably was those 3 players. It might not be, but for Mesut Ozil to be singled out as that person who's refused to take the pay cut, what about the other 2, man? Come on, man. It's a mess, man. But yeah, we've been talking 9 minutes. So yeah, it's what I would say before I go, guys. Like I said, before I'm forgetting, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. So yeah, it's what I would say. That's what I was going to say, and you can easily find the quote. Go go and Google it or whatever. There are other search engines out there. Go and look at what Carlo Ancelotti said about Mesut Ozil when he took over at Real Madrid after Jose Mourinho. What he said about Mesut Ozil before he came to Arsenal. Again, like I said, I'm basing this on footballing reasons. And if you look at Mesut Ozil's career at Arsenal, particularly the last 2 or 3 years, I think it's pretty relevant, man. So yeah, go and look it up. Carlo Ancelotti's comments about Mesut Ozil when he left Madrid and joined Arsenal. I do think there is something in that, and that which relates to now in terms of a footballing decision and his footballing ability and what he offers to the team. I think there's something in it. So guys, drop me in the comments down below. I don't think there's any winners here. What do you think about Mesut Ozil's statement? How do you feel about Arsenal, how they've treated him? I would say more so probably from the comments about China, and also probably from Project Restart, because he hasn't started. His last game for Arsenal was the game against West Ham before the break for the COVID pandemic. I was at that game. It's a mess, man. I think the sooner this comes to an end, the better. I think it's a touchy subject, man. Like I've always said, like I look at things in the sense of I want what's the best for Arsenal Football Club. I'm not Mesut Ozil FC. I've never been Arsene Wenger FC. I've never been Thierry Henry FC. There's. I saw the debate flying around on Twitter yesterday, amongst a lot of people talking about, is he an Arsenal legend? And I'm sorry, no, he's not. When I think of legends at Arsenal, I think of Tony Adams, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, David Seaman. I'd even chuck Jens Lehmann into that. Mesut Ozil's not an Arsenal legend. I mean, there's people that's gonna probably hurl a whole load of abuse in the comments, because it's got to a stage with this guy Mesut Ozil, not just recently, not Ornstein and the Athletic, not the statement today, over the last few years, where if you even mention this guy's name within the Arsenal fan base, they come at you from all angles. Mesut Ozil has a cult following, and I like to separate my appreciation or possible love for a football player and what I want best for my football club. And those are two completely different things. So I don't need to shout or scream to get my point across, but I can have an opinion. People don't have to agree with it, but you don't need to get personal or hurl insults or call people clueless or say the buzzword they got an agenda, inverted commas. Stop that nonsense, man. People can have their opinion, but you don't have to be personal. There's people going to listen to this video now that I'm doing about Mesut Ozil think I'm talking shit. It's true. I've had it not a lot, but slightly before last time when I did content, at the time when Mesut Ozil made the interview with the Athletic with Ornstein. Some of the comments I was getting in my comment section was just mad. I'm thinking to myself, are these guys related to Mesut Ozil? Are these his cousins and his brothers? Like, why are you guys taking this so personally? I mean, if you don't want to ever support Arsenal Football Club again, that's your choice as a fan. Whether you're a casual Arsenal fan, season ticket holder, whatever your ties to Arsenal Football Club are. If you don't want to support Arsenal anymore because of the way it treated Mesut Ozil, then you know what you've got to do. There's been bigger and better players than Mesut Ozil who have joined Arsenal Football Club. It is sad, because I think to myself, when we got this guy, and when I look at 6, 7, 8 years down the line, what's happened is terrible. And where both don't come out of this very, very well. Arsenal don't look good in this, not at all, because it's obvious. I think it's no secret to any Arsenal fan that he wasn't playing, and it's for non-footballing reasons. Yeah, it's a mess, man. Something Mikel Arteta didn't need coming into the new season. If anybody seriously, genuinely thought coming into this new season that Mesut Ozil was going to feature in this team, you're barking up the wrong tree, man. The guy hadn't played for Arsenal in a Premier League game since March. March, man. We're coming a few weeks away. We're going to be in November. So why was he going to feature? It was pretty obvious he was never going to feature for Arsenal again. But yeah, guys, like I said, drop your comments down below, positive or negative. Keep it clean, please. I'm not here to sort of get any personal insults and all that. I ain't got time for that, man. Like, I've got my opinion in it. It's like my slogan says on my channel, just another opinion. Don't make me any better or any worse than anybody else's opinion, man. I like to think I can articulate my words in a way that make a little bit of sense. Or if you disagree with it, you disagree with it. But do it in a way that say something with your chest, but not to the point that you start talking about man's family and your man's appearance and all them sort of stuff. That's not opinion, man. That's just personal, man. Personal drivel. But yeah, guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. That is me, Albert JTV, over and out. Hashtag MESUT Ozil.